Hello. Alrighty, I'm going to present my screen. Thanks for everybody for your patience today. Today we're going to be talking about positive mindset. This is a really great example of having positive mindset because not everything in life goes correctly, right? And then I could have just melted down and been like, SJ, I can't do this, I'm done, and I log out. But instead, just stay calm and figure out solutions. So a positive mindset brings positive results every single time. Can everyone see my screen right now?
It just popped up.
All good?
Yeah, we're good now.
Okay, perfect. All right. So I know a lot of you already know about positive mindset. This is not something that's new that I'm going to be teaching anybody today. This is more to, I don't know, give you guys a reminder in your daily life and in your business how to continue to have a positive mindset, even when, things aren't looking positive. Not everything goes great, especially in real estate. We have a lot of ups and downs that come along our pathways throughout, showing properties and meeting clients all the way to putting in, offers and conditional offers and making sure that those offers are accepted and firming up deals and then getting those to close. So we have a lot of stuff that can be a negative along the way. So this is more about just teaching our mind how to stay positive through all aspects of life, whether it's business, whether it's through your personal life, anything that's going on. So for those of you that don't know what mindset is, so mindset is a mental attitude that determines how you will interpret and respond to situations. So if you think you can, you're right. If you think you can't, you're right again. Yes, it's all a matter of attitude. So I think Anna's a big one on our team. She's always telling us, don't hope for something. There's no such thing as the word hope. You will, right? So that's a really good mindset to have. Anna really displays positive mindset on a daily basis, and she tries to teach the team that all the time about how to stay positive with things and keeping a good mental focus on her mindset when hoping that things will happen. She doesn't hope it, she knows it will happen. So your attitude is a major part of your mindset. I love this quote. So positive thinking will let you do everything better than negative thinking will. And this is absolutely true. Negative thinking bogs us down. It has no place in our mind. It does nothing productive for us other than sometimes making us think more, and sometimes thinking more can lead to good things. But aside from that, on a whole, negativity is usually not a good thing. So choose your attitude. Your choice of attitude can decide the outcome of your life. Negative thoughts have no power unless you choose to empower them. So those of you who saw my manifestation presentation a few months back, mindset is very similar to manifestation. When you are manifesting a positive mindset and positive things into your life and choosing to have a positive attitude, good things will come of that. I heard a really interesting podcast the other day where the lady was talking about, when we worry about something. So when we're worrying about something before it happens, that's worrying once. If it does happen to be something that is negative that happens and that worry does come true, now you're worrying twice because now it's happened and now you need to worry about that. If you stay positive prior to that happening and okay, the bad thing came and okay, you got to worry. At least you only worried once. You didn't worry all along the way up until that point. And the best thing is if the thing never happened and you sat there not worrying and nothing bad happened, guess what? You never worried at all. So try to keep that thought process in mind when you're in your daily aspects of life. I know it can be difficult. We definitely have a lot of things that are negative. Those of you who watch the news will see lots of negative things. One thing that I've chose to do in my life is I don't watch CP24. It used to be something that I had on the background in my house. It was going all the time. I found it to just be very negative and just put me in a bad mood all the time and thinking about like, oh, the government, oh, this, oh, that, oh, the weather's not great today. And I just shut that out. I decided to, turn that off. And it's something positive in the news. I'll hear about it. And I don't need to worry about all the negative stuff. So why a positive attitude and thinking? So this is all really basic stuff. So positive attitude helps you cope more easily with daily affairs. So when you're dealing with your clients on a daily basis, there's not always going to be those great clients that you love. We always have a handful of people that are kind of, we're not really, and we don't really want to take their call sometimes. It could be a difficult conversation, but having a positive attitude helps us coping with those things. It brings optimism into our life, and it makes it easier to avoid worry and negative thinking patterns. Negative thinking patterns are something that can really take over one's mindset. Once you get into a state of negative thinking pattern, it tends to duplicate and it tends to run into the next day and the next day and the next day. So why have a positive attitude and thinking? So if you're mainly positive, you're going to be focused on good things, happy thoughts, successful outcomes. For example, you wake up in the morning and maybe the weather's not great. And you know what? You're like, you know what? It sucks outside. I'm not going to go out. I don't want to go, door knock today. Or you could say to yourself, you know what? I bought myself a great pair of rubber boots. They're flashy. They are nice. I got a great raincoat. I'm going to go to knock some doors, and hopefully there'll be no other agents out there doing that. And I'm going to make this happen. So having those positive thoughts can help you be successful in your business. Otherwise, if you mainly lead a negative thinking pattern, you're going to be focused on bad things, bad thoughts, unsuccessful habits, and act and behave as such. And this is true. Every one of us have had negative moments in our life where we've had negative days and thought patterns that are negative, where all we're thinking about is bad things. And you'll see that when you get on the phone and start complaining to somebody or your family or friends, and then maybe you can't get out of that. And then that trickles into, how you treat your loved one at home. So we need to make sure that we're really cognizant of how our thoughts are affecting our behavior. So how to develop positive attitude. This is really basic, but it's really, truly what I try to do on a daily basis. And I've been very successful in this. I've found throughout my whole life. Those of you who've heard anything about my story and kind of how I grew up and the things I've been through, I've had it pretty tough. But you know what? A lot of you have also had it pretty tough. Everybody has their story. Everybody has their truth. And the one thing that I can say is just developing a positive attitude has to do with love. So start the day with love, spend the day with love, fill the day with love, end the day with love. Love on yourself, love on your family, love on your clients, love on strangers. I was out door knocking the other day with Taylor, and we went in to grab a bite to eat. And I watched him walk up to a lady who had on this really snazzy red winter coat. And he walked right up to her and he said, "I love your coat. You look fabulous." And she turned around with the biggest smile on her face. She, it looked like that brightened up her day. And it definitely did, because as we sat there and ate, when she left, she made a point to come over and say, "Bye guys, have a great day." So that obviously sat with her, and so much so that she felt like wishing us a good day after that. So love spreads. Make sure you're out there spreading it, because even if you think it's something small and insignificant, if it's in you and it's kind of like urging you to go talk to somebody or go say something to somebody, go do it. I do it all the time. My son hates it. He's 16 years old, and I will be in the grocery store and I will walk up to people and be like, "Hey, have you tried that? That's really good." If they seem like they're not sure about a product they're buying, and I will sit there and have a conversation with people or tell people I love their hairdo. And my son's like, "Oh God, Mom, shut up. Let's go." But it's a good thing for me to be teaching my son as well, to make sure that, just be happy and send that love to other people. Just love on everyone. Benefits of a positive attitude. So these are all straightforward. It helps achieving goals and attaining success. Success is achieved faster and more easily. Where there's more happiness in our life, more energy, greater inner power and strength, the ability to inspire and motivate yourself and others. This is a big one. You will find that if you are positive all the time, you're going to motivate people and attract them to you. So people respect and are attracted to you. One person I thought of on our team that's, I think attracts a lot of people and respect is Jake Jordan. He's always a nice person. He's always smiling. He's easy to talk to, and he attracts people coming to him for help, and that energy just comes off of him, that he wants to help people all the time, and it's genuine. So thanks, Jake, for always being a good guy and, helping everybody on the team, and that life smiles at you. It comes through you all the time. So it's really nice to see. And I see that on a lot of people on our team and a lot of people on this call today. So how do we create that positive thinking process? How does that work? It all has to do with our cognitive. So there's 3 things that we need to change: thinking, attitude, and behavior. And this all stems back to, if anybody's had any cognitive behavioral therapy in their life, and you want to be brave and put up their hand. I've had some cognitive behavioral therapy, and all of this has to do with your thinking, your feeling, your behavior, and your attitude towards things that have happened in your life. And it's really beneficial. So I would say to anybody, if you are struggling with attitude or just things that you're dealt with that you're just not sure you can really get over it, and maybe you can't forgive, cognitive behavioral therapy is a really great thing to try. It's just about talking about how your feelings and how to get through those feelings and thought processes. So change happens personally from the inside out. So this is how you change your attitude. It's not something that I can just say, hey, SG, change your attitude if she's having a bad day. It's not going to happen. It's something that SG needs to really think about and manifest in her heart and in her mind and in her thinking process. And sorry, SG, you're always positive, but I saw your face first, so I pointed you out. So in order to be able to change our thinking, we have to act responsibly. So remember, I'm responsible. I'm responsible for who I am, for what I have, for what I do, for how I show up, or for how I react. I can't sit there and point fingers at the other guy and say, oh, we see our lead chat come up sometimes and somebody else will grab a lead and we're like, darn it, I missed that. And then you can have a negative thought like, oh, like they always get the lead, or, oh, I needed that one, or something like that, blaming it on somebody else. We need to stop thinking that way and start thinking about ourselves. And it's like, okay, I didn't get that lead. What can I do? I can get on the phone right now and I can start dialing for an hour, and maybe I find 2 leads. Maybe I find 3 leads. Maybe I find no leads, but at least I made the attempt to go and try to change the aspect of what's going on in my life. I didn't just sit there in a negative thought process, put on Netflix and just, binge and just be like, okay, well, this is life. I'm not making money. Okay. So we really have to turn up and be responsible for what we do in our life and how we react. So how to change things. Change comes from thinking logically in every situation. I love this. So before you think about, is it true? Is it helpful? Is it inspiring? Is it necessary, or is it kind? All those things that you're thinking in your mind, are these true thoughts that you're thinking? Are these helpful thoughts? Are they inspiring to you? Are they necessary thoughts? And are they kind to yourself? And this goes back to, think before you speak, right? And this is like self-talk as well. Like, don't think about bad things about yourself. Is it helpful to think, you're not good at something? No, it might be helpful to say, you know what, I'm not great at that. How do I get better at that? Right? Inspire yourself and have a necessary and kindful way of thinking. And most importantly, have grace with yourself. I think that's super important, because we're not all perfect and we're not good at everything. So having grace with the things that we're struggling with on a daily basis can help us overcome bad and negative thinking processes. But I would write this one down. I think it's helped me in a few situations where maybe you're in an argument with your spouse even, and you're just about to say something that you wish you shouldn't say it, right? So think that through. Is it true what I'm saying? Is this going to be helpful to whatever the conversation is? Is it inspiring my partner? Is it necessary, or is it going to be kind or bring anything to the table? If not, probably best not to say it. So observe your thinking. We all have bad thoughts. It sucks to be him. I refuse to let that hook me. So really be cognizant of what you're thinking on a daily basis and what you're filling your mind with. If you find you're filling your mind with a lot of negative things, one thing that I find works for me is putting on music, especially if I'm in the car and I'm driving to a showing or something like that, and I'm not having a great day, traffic's bad, I'm starting to think negative things about the guy that's like not moving, and I'm going to be 10 minutes late to a showing now. Put on a good song, put on something that makes you happy, and look around and find something that actually makes you think positive. Maybe there's somebody's car color you like. Maybe there's a car you see that you really like that you wanted to buy someday. Start thinking about that and thinking about all the things that you're going to do to get to that point. It can be hard, but trying to bring in other things in your life that bring you stimulus, that's going to bring in positivity, and music's a big one for me. So manage your talk. What can I do to make money versus I'm not making money? So managing talk is a huge one. And that's the same thing with your clients. I find clients can be negative at times. Maybe the house hasn't sold as fast as you thought it was going to be. And then they start saying, you know what, the house isn't going to sell. And you just take it off the market, and you could just give in and be like, you know what, you're right. We're in a bad market right now. If you want, let's take it down. We'll put it back up in a little bit longer. Or you could start walking them through the talk process of like inspiring them, showing them, why it's necessary that their house is for sale right now. What's beneficial of that? What's the truth of it being for sale right now? And walk through all the positive aspects about what if tomorrow somebody comes as a buyer and we missed out on that. So how to change behavior? It starts with stimulus every single time. So stimulus and then response. That's the worst way you can go. Something affects you and you immediately respond to it. When we do that, we can most often than not, we're going to respond with something that we wish we'd thought over a little bit more. Maybe it's something, maybe we respond good to something, but we could have responded better to it if we had thought it through a little bit more. So I would always take the second step, which is stimulus versus thinking about all my choices. So what choices do I have? And then my response. There's nothing wrong with slowing down when you're talking to somebody. It's better to slow down and think before you actually speak. Some people can think, oh, what's wrong with this person? Are they slow or whatever? They're not going to think you're slow if you come out saying something that sounds logical, that's positive, and that's necessary and helpful to the situation. Whereas if you're just a quick speaker and you say something that can come off rude and unintelligent, and you didn't think through that process. And I find that this really comes in handy when you're doing a CMA. When a client asks you a question and you just quickly a stimulus response and just say whatever you think is the right answer. Slow down. Don't really think about what this person's saying. Think about the house you're in. Think about the market you're in. Think about what that person told you is their motivation to sell their property, and then have your response, because that response is going to be more tailored to the person that you're speaking to and not just a plain out stimulus response. Okay, so influence your environment and add positive behavior. These are all really quick and easy points you can do. Spread a smile, sprinkle some positivity on negative things. Focus on the good of each day. There's a good in every single day, so make sure you find that and say that and affirm that on a daily basis. Say please and thank you. It's a big one. My parents, we grew up saying please and thank you in our house, and some families don't, but I find sometimes just saying a please and thank you to people can go a long way. Practicing empathy, that's huge. Elevate your behavior, do something outside the box maybe that you wouldn't do. Even if it's something small, holding the door for somebody coming out of the mall or anything like that, okay? Complimenting others, see criticism as an opportunity to improve, which is a huge one. Criticism will help you grow. Making mistakes helps you grow. Keep promises, big one. Cultivate your sense of humor. Let's laugh, let's be merry. If you mess up, laugh about it. There's no point getting down on yourself. Laugh and get over it. Keep open mind to changes and have a forgiving view of people. So that's a big one, I think. Always forgive others, because at the end of the day, we're here for so long, and never go to sleep angry at somebody. You never know if you'll see them tomorrow. So have that forgiving attitude of others. We're not perfect. So the choice is yours. With a bad attitude, you can never have a positive day. And with a positive day attitude, you can never have a bad day. A positive attitude is like a magnet for positive results, and it absolutely is. It sounds cliche, but it really, really is. If you can take a spin on anything negative and just say, you know what, laugh it off and try to figure out what's the positive of it, you will find a positive result or a positive reaction from it. I have a quick little story I'm going to tell. I don't know how much time I have here, but I really want to share it fast. Is that I had a situation where I had a conditional offer on a property, and it was conditional on the sale of 2 houses. I had a week to put them to sale. One of them was up in Parry Sound, and I drove up in my car and I just broke my arm. I had a cast on it all the way up to here, surgery, metal in it. I couldn't move it. And when I got there, my clients had said to me, oh, we're having pictures. We were having pictures done the next day. And they said, the house is perfect. It's good. It's our cottage. We rarely use it. There's not a lot of stuff there. It's good for the photography tomorrow. So I was bringing up a lockbox. I was doing my little walk through the property. And as soon as I opened the door, I went, oh my God, there was alcohol bottles everywhere. There was cases of water stacked up on the floor, bubbly cases, dog beds, dog hair on sofas and everywhere. Children's things all in the cupboards and in the room. Like it was a mess, in my opinion. It was like a lived-in cottage, and it wasn't a cottage that was ready to be photographed for sale. So at that moment in time, I could have just been like, you know what? Oh my God, I was doing the deal with Stephanie, and she was a listing agent on the property we were trying to sell. I could have called Stephanie right there and just been like, Stephanie, this is not going to happen. Like, I don't know, like we're going to have to put this off. I need to extend the condition. I need to get cleaners in here. I'm not going to have photographs today. I could have broken down right there and then, but instead I took a minute. I had that stimulus and I thought about what are my choices. A lot of the choices were negative ones, and I'm like, okay, these are negative choices, so like slam the door and leave. But one of the choices I had was get down and dirty right now, Lisa, and clean this house yourself. And that's what I did. I called my client and I said, hey, I'm like, this house is not ready for staging or for photography. I need to get it ready to look like it has been somewhat staged or somewhat in a way that I can have a photography team come in and represent your house as best as it could be. And they said, sure, go at it. Like it's just a few little things to move. And I knew in my mind, no, this was not a few things to move. I stayed in that house with a broken arm, scrubbing things for 4 hours straight. Top to bottom, that house, I was stuffing dog beds and closets. I had water bottles and things under beds. I had everything tucked in every nook and cranny that I could find. More alcohol than I've ever seen in my life, but I put it all nicely in an alcohol and wine cabinet, made it look pretty. And at the end of it, I was pooped and tired, but I looked at the house and I said, you know what? This property is decent now. It can actually be photography can come in tomorrow. I sat down, I looked at their fridge and all this alcohol. I called my client. I said, your house is clean now. I'm grabbing a Heineken out of the fridge and I'm going to sit on your porch and look at the lake. And that's exactly what I did. I grabbed a Heineken. I sat on their porch. I watched the sunset come down and I drove home. House was listed within a couple days of that happening, and we had sold conditionally within the first day. Unfortunately, that fell through with financing, but that's okay. We got another offer the next day and we were sold and firm within 9 days. So if I had broken down and I had been like, you know what, I'm not doing this, I'm gonna, this outcome could have been a lot different. Instead, I got it done. My clients were happy, the sale was finished, and it was all a good thing. So that's what I say, just, choose your behavior wisely. We all have choices to make in life, and that's in everything that we do. So I would say to everybody, just, make the right change. Choose positive thinking, attitude, and behavior over all things. And most importantly, think positive. So that's my presentation. If anybody has questions that they want to share or anything that they have that they do on a daily basis to help them think more positively or have a good mindset towards their business on a daily basis, please feel free to share.
This was so awesome, Lisa. I think everyone's feeling really happy and fired up right now. This is amazing. Anna, you have your hand up. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to add about the worries that you mentioned at the beginning of presentation. Years ago, I had that experience. I was, like you said, I was driving to meet the clients first time, and I knew that I'm going to be late 10 minutes. I was like crazy panicking, speeding my car. It was like really, really crazy, right? And then by the time I was there, my thoughts were all around, and I said, oh my God, what do they think about me as an agent? Oh my God, they will never work with me because of that. I came there and I received the text message, sorry, Anna, we are 15 minutes late. So our thoughts killed us. So you're absolutely right. Don't worry. Don't worry about anything. Because fix the problem when it's there, right? Because I could have even get into the accident, right? Because I was really speeding, right? And I wanted to ask you, have you ever taken the picture before and after of that cottage?
The before and after? No, I should have. I really should have. The photographs now. Actually, you know what? I might. I have to dig those out. But the photography pictures, you could see it. It's 9G. That was my property I sold. So you can see it wasn't perfect, but you can imagine what it looked like prior to me cleaning it after 4 hours. But I do want to say, like, anybody else that has anything to want to share, please do so. But I also want to just give some love right now. Like I said, like having positive thinking and that's giving out love to others. I know SG has to be in the world right now. So if anybody has, time, please go meet SG, give her some love, show our colleagues some love today. All of us jump into the world and watch her and support her in her presentation. Okay, and that's good.
Amazing.
Everyone.
Thank you so much, Lisa. This was amazing.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you. You made my day.
Great
Thank
day.
you,
Love all.
Lisa.
Thanks, Lisa.
Bye.